Hello Internet. Okay, this is the second video that I'm making whilst on COVID-19 furlough slash social distancing, and I'm continuing a project that I started last week in which we made this circuit board here, where, what's the best way to hold this? If I turn this variable resistor, we're able to turn the brightness of this LED up and down. So the output device is this LED on the board, and my hope for today, or over the next day for this video, is to figure out how to send a command over my network here in my house to adjust the brightness instead of this LED, to adjust the brightness of one of the lamps here in the lounge. So that's the plan. The first thing I need to do is look up how do I get this thing on the Wi-Fi network. And I think I should have had it ready. In fact, I know that in my box of parts here, I've got a Wi-Fi chip that you can fit onto this Arduino. So that's the first step. Let's have a look. Okay, I've hit a little bit of a roadblock, I think. Where's the circuit board gone? Yeah. So this is the Wi-Fi chip, the ESP8266 Wi-Fi chip that I can hopefully use to get my Arduino connected to the Wi-Fi network. However, you need to be able to address each of the pins individually, which means if you plug it into the breadboard that I've got, you'll get short circuits. At least I think that's right. All the YouTube videos that I've seen so far suggest that I need an adapter to make it so that you can plug this into a breadboard, or you can use jumper leads. I've gone for ordering some jumper leads because I can use them for other things as well, but they won't arrive until tomorrow. So I think that's it. I might watch a few more YouTube videos tonight so I can kind of hit the ground running, but yeah, I'll check back in tomorrow and see you then. Hey everyone. Okay, new day, new hoodie. The cables arrived from Amazon, so I'm going to do a poor man's unboxing video, take it out the plastic, and see what we've got. So I think there's 120 cables in here, a mixture of male to male, female to female, and male to female. Yeah, here you go. One set, that's the female to female, another set male to female and male to male. Okay, so these they're just wire, they're just jumper cables, but what they'll allow me to do is connect each pin on the Wi-Fi chip to an individual socket on the Arduino Uno, which we need. I think plugging it straight into a breadboard, as I mentioned yesterday, would give us short circuits. So I'm going to go back to the YouTube video I was watching yesterday and try and wire this together, and then I'll check back. Okay, this is more complicated than I imagined it would be. I thought that this was just an accessory that I would connect up to the Arduino Uno, and all of a sudden it would have the ability to connect to my Wi-Fi network. It turns out this is its own programmable chip that runs in isolation if you want. So you have to program this, and one of the ways to do that is via the Arduino Uno. So what have I learned? I've learned that this squiggly bit is the Wi-Fi antenna. I've learned there's several different versions of this ESP8266 chip, and I think this is one of the older versions. This has firmware that I can talk to via the Arduino code editor, but I need to install a separate package to do that. I've learned that if you connect this directly to the 5 volts supply from the Arduino, you will fry it, but 3.3 volts is fine, and luckily my Arduino does have a 3.3 volt output, so that's no problem. And then in order to actually flash some new software onto it, you have to wire up certain pins in certain ways, like making a short between two of them and making sure that they're connected to the data ports on the Arduino. So it's one of those things where you type the problem into Google, like ESP8266 Arduino Uno, and you find lots of videos, none of which are the same. Hello, Future Dave here. Okay, this is actually the day after the footage you've just been watching was recorded. I'm going to do a little bit of editing magic here. Suffice to say, I went down a rabbit hole and spent most of the morning and early afternoon trying to flash a sketch onto, which is a bit of software, onto the Wi-Fi board. That just wasn't necessary and was also very complicated and didn't work. So let's just show you the highlights. So the first thing I did was watch this YouTube video that explains how to add the libraries to the Arduino IDE, the software, so that you can actually talk to this ESP8266 Wi-Fi chip. The next thing I did was build a crazy complicated circuit board that connects the Arduino Uno to the Wi-Fi chip. And in theory, those connections allow you to flash some software from the Arduino IDE onto that chip. And I was trying to flash a simple sketch that just blinks the LED on and off. So with the IDE set up and the circuit board all wired together, I pressed the upload button inside the Arduino editor. And as you can see, the sketch compiled and then said connecting, and we didn't get much further than that. You can see by the confused look on my face that things weren't going as planned. You can see from the blinking light on the Arduino that it was transmitting data, and that the receiving light on the Wi-Fi chip was also blinking, so it was receiving data. So in theory, that's the sketch going through the Arduino to the Wi-Fi chip, but the connection error or the connecting message inside the Arduino software never went away. It was at this point that I decided to change tack, so I'll pass you back to past me. Okay, so I've done some reading online, and it sounds like for some reason either the Arduino or the Wi-Fi chip hasn't gone into programming mode, so it's not accepting the code that my laptop is trying to send. And to be honest with you, I don't know why, but the more I think about it, what we're going to achieve here is making the LED blink on the Wi-Fi chip, which isn't really what we want to use it for. What we want to use it for is to add Wi-Fi abilities to the Arduino Uno. So I typed that into Google, so add Wi-Fi to Arduino Uno, and I found this really surprisingly simple set of instructions on exactly how to do that. It does involve a bit of wiring, as you can see from this diagram, but that's a lot simpler than what I've tried to do in order to get this chip to go into programming mode. I don't think we need to program it. I don't want it to stand alone as its own piece of hardware. I just want to use it as a peripheral for the Arduino. So I'm going to abandon what we're trying to do at the minute, because it's quite complicated and isn't actually going to get us any closer to where we want to be. And I'm going to start building this circuit instead to see if we can get ourselves connected to the Wi-Fi here in my flat. So that's my next plan, and I'll check in when I've got an update. Hello, Future Dave again. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up this video here. I did follow the instructions that you just saw there and made some progress and discovered more rabbit holes to fall down. I've also ordered some new bits and pieces from eBay for troubleshooting, which are going to take a day or two to arrive. So let's call it a day. I've learned an awful lot in this video, maybe you have too. If you know more than me, which isn't particularly difficult, about how to interact with this ESP chip via the Arduino Uno, then please do leave a comment below. It would be super helpful, because there's a lot of information online and a lot of it is contradictory. So anybody who's got experience in this, I would be really grateful. Okay, so catch you soon. Thank you for watching and take care.